Thank you very much, and I hope that I can contribute a lot, but also that I can gain a lot to help the organisations that I'm working with today. So 25 years ago, next July, I started a not-for-profit called Hear and Say, which started off with 6 children to anticipate the cochlear implant or bionic ear program coming to Brisbane and Queensland, and also because there was a child need and a parent need for children who are deaf to learn to listen and speak. So I started with these 6 children, and the program grew very, very large. Today we look after the newborn hearing screening children from Queensland. We have 60% of those from the state. We work with 13 different sorts of implantable hearing technologies, including our Australian invented cochlear implant from Cochlear Limited. It's so effective that a child can hear the slightest whisper and can hear the softest sounds of speech from 6.5 metres, which allows them to sit in a regular classroom. They're able to learn to listen and speak at age-appropriate levels in many, many cases, and the progress of the children as a group is the same as the progress of a group of children with normal hearing who are matched to that group, learning to listen, to speak, to read, to do maths, and their self-esteem is also the same as well. So I believe that in this space, the outcomes for the cochlear implant have been legendary. In research with the Hearing Cooperative Research Centre and a number of big major clinics in Australia, we've found that for children who are implanted before the age of 12 months, they're able to achieve these wonderful outcomes, and the earlier the better. So now we are set on the threshold of some other amazing opportunities. In the meantime, the type of work that we were doing here in Australia is in demand all over the world. So I've spent a lot of my time travelling the world and teaching, because at Hear and Say, the clinic that I founded, we now have 6 centres up and down the coast of Queensland. We service children in northern New South Wales and children in Northern Territory, and we have a robust research and innovation program. We have a telepractice program that services the children of the outback, and we also have online and face-to-face training everywhere. So this keeps us very busy indeed. But the opportunities keep expanding. So the next thing that happened was that other bionics devices were spun out of the bionic ear, and now I can see many, many opportunities for all of those groups. I would like for them to have the same legendary outcomes that the bionic ear has had. I see people working in silos. I see people starting to invent the field from the very beginning, not learning what's gone before. When I started, we had to learn to not only to use the device, but also to invent the training for the child's brain that went with it, without which it does not work, the training for the parents and the family who surround that child, and the training for the professionals who will use that. So I think that it would be wonderful if all these new groups were starting to think about that from the beginning. So I started a group of students across 3 universities in Queensland, which is now going really, really well. Human Bionics Interface, which is a global group of bionics groups who are now interacting and working together. And also Bionics Queensland, to try and put together the Queensland bionics groups and to set some of the governance and systems that will see the global group expand. And as I've been around the world, the global group has been expanding without me really doing anything, because many people say it's an idea whose time has come. So we also have formed, because the brain, I believe, is the organ of hearing, not the ears. The ears are just the way in. I've been forming liaisons with different brain groups, so World Brain Mapping and the Australian Brain Alliance just recently. I think my potential contributions to ATSI could be many, many, and probably working in the bionics area particularly. But I think that also there are other things that will happen, because I'm a member of ATSI, that will come down to the bionics arena. And I've listed all of those there. I won't read them all out, but I really believe that it will work both ways, and I will ensure it works both ways. I think that if the last 2 centuries were the centuries for power, this century is the century for empowerment or education. and particularly with STEM, but only if we're able to figure out how to share. I also believe that life is no brief candle to me. It's a sort of a splendid torch which I have hold of for the moment, and I'd like to make it burn as brightly as I can for future generations. So I hope that I can contribute very much to the education processes that come through ATSE. Thank you.